If you're gonna kill somebody and you don't want their body to be found, this looks like a pretty ideal place to achieve that objective, right? My name's Nathan Komp. I'm a journalist. I've spent 9 years working on this case. Amos Mortier went missing on November 8th, 2004.
They found the surreal environment, like half-rolled joint, dog food full in the dish, record player spinning. I don't know what to make of it. Like, how surreal of a ghost story is that?
They were gonna say Amos is a homicide victim, and I was crying because it was that reality. I'm sorry, I get really emotional.
You know, Amos was somebody's son, he was somebody's friend, he was somebody's brother.
Amos was such a peaceful guy. He was very quiet, very gentle.
He was an avid gardener, he loved the environment.
Nothing should have ever happened to him. He wouldn't hurt a flea. It was him and that dog.
They had no leads, they had no answers as to what happened to Amos.
And then it kind of came out that he was involved in the drug business.
You know, there is this stigma around drug dealers, and there was this sort of attitude that, well, that's what happens to drug dealers, they go missing.
They didn't really pursue Amos's murder. They pursued all of his friends as targets because they were all drug dealers.
Amos's mother had Amos's dog for some time after he died, and then finally Amos's dog died himself. And she remembered how she would look at the dog and she would say, "What happened that night? What did you see?" That always just got to me.
I ran up into the trouble that everyone else ran up against, which was getting information. I came home from work one day, opened the mailbox, and there was a small yellow manila envelope with a CD in it. And I popped the CD and I got leaked almost 3,300 pages of court documents. I mean, I just about shit my pants.
Somebody broke the law to get him that information, and it was because he made it known that he was interested in solving this thing.
Piece by piece, I felt like the truth was starting to emerge. You know, it's a really weird thing to have the people who are responsible for solving murders say, oh, we're not even gonna listen to you. We've already gone down that road. But they haven't. Once they rejected my story and tried to discredit me, you know, that really just kind of amped me up.
What I've wanted to scream at the detectives for years is, why didn't you care enough to find my friend? A man's missing. His mother's in shambles. How could you?
I believe I know what happened to Amos Mortier on November 8th, 2004.
Yeah, that's the right question. What happened to Amos?
Hi, my name is Christina Matwani, and I'm the producer and director of What Happened to Amos. This is a story of Amos Mortier, an amateur DJ who mysteriously disappeared from his Fitchburg, Wisconsin home on November 8, 2004. Soon after the police investigation began, it was discovered that Amos was part of one of the Midwest's largest marijuana distribution rings. With the discovery of his involvement in the drug ring, investigators shifted focus from finding out what happened to Amos to prosecuting those involved in the marijuana distribution ring. The search for Amos was essentially forgotten. As the years passed, many people had theories about what happened to Amos. Nathan Komp, a local journalist, started covering the story and decided he wanted to write a book. During his quest to uncover the story, Nathan was leaked 3,300 pages of federal documents, interviews, and more. After piecing together the evidence, he presented his findings to the authorities, only to have it fall on deaf ears. It's been 12 years since Amos Mortier has gone missing. On the anniversary of his disappearance, his mother, Margie, still goes to his house and stands outside with a photo of her son, hoping for someone to give some information. Amos isn't here to tell his story, in part because he went missing from a small city whose police department had never handled a case approaching this scale. His disappearance and presumed murder was also complicated by Americans' conflicting attitudes and beliefs when it comes to illicit drugs, the people who sell them, as well as those who use them. Your donation to this film will help cover the cost of shooting and production, as well as contributions from artists and filmmakers to bring this story to life. Thank you so much for your donation and being a part of our film.